Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Fully Loaded, Fill Up Your Appointment Book with Denise Williams-James. Denise is the owner of the Training Institute for Salon and Spa Professionals. They are a training, education, and consulting source for the salon and spa industry. They provide top-notch training and seminars, as well as mentoring and consulting services for salon and spa professionals, as well as business owners. Denise enjoys working to blend passion and creativity with business systems and solutions to result in a perfect combination for business growth and success. Without further ado, I give you Denise Williams-James.
Good afternoon, everyone, and or good morning, just as you had stated earlier. Hold on just a second, Jenny. I'm having a little technical difficulty.
There we go.
My screen.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, everyone. And I just wanted to say that I am very thankful to have this opportunity to speak with you today. I'm really excited about the information that I will be sharing with you on today. And again, thank you for joining us on today as we talk about Fully Loaded. I'm going to give you a little background about myself. I know Jenny's told you about the Training Institute for Salon and Spa Professionals and what it is that we provide and what we offer. But I am a licensed master cosmetologist myself. I've been in the industry for over 25 years. I do have experience as a salon owner myself. I have been a previous salon owner, including one salon in Europe, and I have operational and training expertise in the industry. I've taught many beauty professionals in the industry who have now become business owners, mentors, coaches, and educational trainers in the industry as well. I work behind the chair, as I mentioned, as a salon and spa manager, and graduated into the operations and training side of the business. And I've also worked as a commissioned hairdresser as well as an independent hairdresser as well. So with my background, what I've been able to offer in the industry and through TISSP is real-world experience from the perspective of a hairdresser all the way through to a business owner and as a consultant. So I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of background about myself. Today our focus is to simply introduce you to a few effective methods to get you started on your way to getting clients on your books and to get them coming back. Some of these methods will be easily implemented. Some will be very cost effective, and some will cost nothing at all. So I just wanted to kind of introduce you to some things that will be simple. A lot of times we are concerned with how can we make this happen, how can we do this, it's so hard, and I don't really have the budgetary means to make some of these things happen. So I wanted to start from the very basic foundation of some things that you can implement immediately if you're a new person coming into the industry, and even if you're a seasoned hairdresser as well. So let's get started. First things first, what impression are you giving when you go out and about throughout your day? What I found, sometimes I'll have someone approach me and they'll hand me their card or they'll introduce themselves to me and they'll say, I would love to provide a service for you. I'm a hairdresser. And what is it that you immediately do when someone says that to you? What I typically do is I look at their hair. If they tell me that they're a nail technician, I look at their nails. So one of the things that we really want to make sure that we pay attention to is our image, because our image is a part of what markets who we are and our business. And whether we like it or not, we'll be judged by our potential clients and even our existing ones if we don't look the part. So we want to make sure that we are looking the part. If I'm a hairdresser, then my hair needs to look like I'm a hairdresser. I know I hear sometimes I don't have enough time to do my hair, so that's why I don't have it as as polished as I should at all times. But When I was behind the chair in the salon, if I had to come in before the salon opened to make that happen, I did, or if I had to stay after the salon was closed, that's what I did to make sure that, I looked the part first before I would approach someone else. What is fully loaded? Fully loaded is a term that we use at TISSP to describe a full book of appointments. And why this is crucial and critical today and every day, and whether you're new or seasoned, is because we typically come into this business because we're passionate about it, we love it, but of course we want to be busy. And what I found as I consult in the industry is I find some people are working 8-hour days and you're maybe only scheduled to book 2 or 3 hours out of that day, or they're not even maximizing the time that they're there. And those of you who are familiar with, custom blocking as far as your service appointment times are concerned, we're not maximizing the space that we utilize on the books as well. So my focus today is to help you get to that point that you are maximizing the utilization of your time and that you are productive when you're there. I started out with this business card feature because this is what we do. You have your business cards and then you're like, now what? Whether you just came into the industry again, or if you just started in a new salon, you've been in the industry and you moved into a new salon, or you've been in the salon for a while and you have your business cards and you're just kind of sitting there trying to figure out what to do. And the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to think about all of the different places that you go to, and when you're out and about throughout the day, how you can actually share what it is that you do with your business card. And I'll challenge you and give you a goal to pass out 100 business cards per month. And it's easily broken down into 25 business cards per week. And one of the ways that you can easily do that is there's an opportunity at most local Chamber of Commerces that they host a monthly business card exchange event. You can attend that. Sometimes they'll actually give you an opportunity to speak. You may have a couple of minutes to speak about what it is that you do and also hand out your business cards. If you go through the drive-through at a restaurant, if you go through the drive-through at a bank, I hand out my business cards there. I also take the opportunity to cross-promote with businesses who complement my business. So say, for instance, you're in an area, there's a lot of hospitality where you have a lot of hotels and they have day spas, but they don't have salons. So you can cross-promote with those businesses, and that's a great way to share what it is that you do and get your business cards out there. Another thing that I would also do is to make it easier when I wanted to, put my business cards in another business, is I would also automatically already have a nice acrylic flyer holder about my business along with a business card holder attached. And then I would also, use this to drop off as well in the business. And they didn't have to do any work, and then I didn't have to worry about it just kind of lying around on the counter and just, kind of in the way where people don't really pay attention. Also, you can, have your business cards attached to little goodie bags, and you can drop them off at schools. This is the perfect time to do that because we have back to school starting, and you can ask, can you drop them off in the teachers' lounges, doctors' offices. That's a great way. And also, I found another great technique that you can utilize, and this is very unique. You can have your business card that is used as a multifunction. So it's a business card on the front, and on the back, you can use it as a gift card. And what you do is you just add a dollar amount that you would like to use towards a service. So it's not to discount a service, but it's actually going to add value because you're going to utilize the gift card towards the service, and that will get them to come in and book the appointment. The next piece I wanted to focus on is gaining free publicity. This is something that I've used on multiple occasions, and a lot of people are not aware of this, but you can actually gain free publicity by creating a press release. And a press release is basically, it's a written announcement directed at members of the media or your audience in your local community, and it tells a little bit about yourself, what it is that you do, what your value is, and about your services. And I'll give you an example of how I utilize this myself. Is what I would do is in this particular instance, I wanted to run a feature on Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so I contacted the local newspaper, spoke with who was responsible for press releases. She gave me the parameters that I would have to operate in as far as writing the press release and that sort of piece. I actually brought in one of my mentees and had her come in and sit in with me with a young lady who was a breast cancer survivor. And our salon, what we decided to do was we purchased the pink hair extensions, the little clip-ons, and all of the proceeds went to Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I had my mentee take a photo while I was actually placing the extensions in the hair of the breast cancer survivor. And then I actually wrote a piece about the breast cancer survivor, her story, what she went through, and how she's come out of that. And also I was able to feature that my niche and my passion was for women who were experiencing hair loss or thinning hair, whether it would be due to chemotherapy, alopecia, autoimmune disease. And as a result of that, I ended up having a huge market of women who had been untapped or who were uncomfortable actually even speaking about their condition or their situation as a result of reading that feature article in the local newspaper that was absolutely free. So this is a great tool that a lot of people are not aware of that, like I said, is free. Actually, I ended up getting a lot of online free press releases as a result of this as well, because you can get links because of the captions that are used or the words or keywords that are utilized too, that were associated with the alopecia, hair loss, or hair thinning. So it just actually went viral online, and all I did was basically submitted it to the local newspaper. So, this is a great, great feature that you can use. Also, become a contributing writer for a local newspaper or magazine. Up until about a couple of years ago, I was a contributing writer for a magazine, and it's a great way to post tips and trends of what's going on in the industry and also get you out there. And it was free. I was actually, invited to come in and write the article. So it was a great way for me to feature my salon and my business and also my services, as well as promote, the opportunity for people to come in to receive the services as well. So, that's just another way to increase your presence, but also in a way that is very cost-effective or free. Embrace your community. People like to do business with people they know and with people who do things to help members of the community. And one of the things that I used to do is also get involved with, say for instance, women's shelters, or there was a housing community for women who were in transition that had been dislocated, whether it be due to job loss or marital status change. But they had interviews. They were going out to have interviews for jobs, and they didn't have anyone to, do their hair. So I would perform hair services for them for, complimentary hair services, and it was a way for me to get involved in the community. This is the time of year as well where fall festivals are happening in the community, so you want to get involved in that piece as well. Back to school, this is something I really loved as far as giving back into the community. This time of year, the kids are going back to school. Some families may not be able to afford haircuts or hair services. So what I would do is I would reach out to the local agencies and ask them if they had students that I could sponsor, and I would bring them into the salon and actually provide free hair services for them, to come in and have services so that they would feel good about themselves when they started out the school year. The next part I wanted to talk about is spread the word. And when I say spread the word, I want you to get out there and get into the community. Like, let everyone know who you are, how talented you are, and how to find you. A lot of times we kind of, we sit in the salon and we just sit back and we hope that they'll have word of mouth, or we expect a salon owner to take care of all the advertising and marketing for us, but you have to be a part of spreading the word. So promote your services at trade shows, go to different events, get out and about. As a salon owner, I took advantage of billboards. I know some people think that, that's kind of not the thing now, but you'll be surprised at how people still pay attention to billboards. As a matter of fact, I booked an event based on getting off of a flight and seeing a billboard, and that same night I booked an event because of what I saw on the billboard. And it's not as expensive as some think. I've actually had companies that were willing to allow payment arrangements, to pay for the billboard. And when I did it, I just thought of it as in terms of, how many guests I had to provide services for in order to pay for my billboard. In one instance, I had a billboard that was $400 a month. And so for me, one service per week took care of my payment for that billboard. So you can be really creative in getting your word out about yourself and what it is that you do, or your salon. Also, you can get pop-up signs created, and when I say pop-up signs, these are real estate signs that you see similar to that when you see someone's home for sale. So, but you want to make sure that you follow your local ordinances as it pertains to signage. But this is another great way that you can, spread the word, and it's low cost. And Jenny, I just wanted to take the time to see if anyone has any questions for me thus far before we move on.
Not yet. If anybody has any questions, feel free to send those through. I am here waiting to catch those. So if you have any questions at this point.
Okay. And then just one final way to spread the word. I know you see this all the time, but it's very cost efficient, and it's actually applying the magnetic signs on the sides of your car. And again, I utilize those a lot, and you'll be surprised at how many people took your number down as they were driving by, and then they call you back. Establishing a web presence is so critical now in the age that we live in, and it took me a little while to kind of become comfortable with the whole web presence. And actually, my daughter was the one who encouraged me. She was, saying, okay, you got to get with it. You have to set up a Facebook business page, and, all of those different features. And, once I got on, I really saw the benefit of utilizing the social media, especially if you come up in an era where, you're accustomed to word of mouth or internal referrals. So, there are many formats to choose from, as you all know: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Pinterest. You want to make sure that you take advantage of all these social media formats and utilize them to give frequent updates and tips on the services that you provide. You can offer promos and feature your contests that you have going on. It's a great way to stay in front of your existing clients and attract new clients. Another way that I used it in a huge way was before and after photos of my clients. But you have to make sure that if you use this as a format or as a tool, that you ensure that you use a media release form that has to be signed by your client before posting any of their photos online. And I know it may seem a little overwhelming or a daunting task to post to all these different social media sites, and I felt that way initially, but I found some different formats that I was able to actually go in and schedule my tips or my updates to up to 4 or 5 of my different formats. And one, for instance, is called Hootsuite. You can actually use that, and it will actually post all of your trends or your updates or anything that you have out there, promotions or contests, and you can schedule them so many times per day and different ones per day, and even different messages based on whether it's your Facebook, LinkedIn, or your Twitter account. You can actually format it and customize it based on that as well. Creating an email list. This is one of the most neglected facets of internet marketing there is. We missed a lot of opportunities to gain email addresses. I was actually in a business the other day, and we wanted to send out a mass campaign, and we didn't have the email list, the email information that we could have had for it to be very impactful. And so the first thing that you want to do is you want to make it easy for the prospects to sign up. So initially, you may have them subscribe to your tips and your updates with just their email address. No other information, no address or that sort of information. Then after you have them register with their email address only in the beginning, then if they want to have access to other areas of your website, for example, then you can require that they submit other marketing information. Also use the information from your client consultation to form your email list. Just make sure that, during the consultation, part of it is when they complete the form that the email address is a part of the form that they have to complete. You can utilize your email list to create offers and add, which add value, and also post links to subscribe to all of your social media sites as well. And another feature that a lot of salons and spas and businesses use is they actually provide you an opportunity to, win, say, for instance, a free haircut or a free hair color if they will supply their email addresses. So again, a quick way, an easy way to, obtain the information you need to reach out to your potential audience or to your potential guests. Take action. Take action to make things happen for you and yourself and your business. One of the simple, easiest, and free ways to do that is by filming yourself, demonstrating or talking about your services or products, and explaining the benefits. We have smartphones now, we have iPads, anything you can utilize, tablets that you can utilize to film yourself demonstrating or talking about your services. You can easily post your videos on YouTube, and you can embed the video on your website and post it on all of your social media formats. This is another great way to gain exposure. And you're showing your expertise of who you are and what it is that you provide. So, utilize this format as well. Network, network, network. I cannot say this enough. Building relationships, joining the Chamber of Commerce. I mentioned earlier that they have the monthly business exchange, but they also have an opportunity for you to join. And, this is another kind of detail. There are some Chamber of Commerces that will allow you to pay on a monthly basis to be a part of their organization. You can also join other professional groups and professional trade organizations. As a matter of fact, Associated Hair Professionals, which is sponsoring this summer webinar series, is one. PBA. There are many different trade organizations that you can join. Also, you can join meetup organizations, attend some business networking organizations in your area. Also, speak at some of the cosmetology schools, or find opportunities where you can speak at certain events and talk about some of your expertise as well. And you can get on the board of directors at cosmetology schools or other organizations. And also attend webinars and, webinars, workshops and seminars. There was actually just one in Atlanta. They have the iSpa conference that's coming up in October. You want to make sure that you get out and meet other people and, tell them about what it is that you're doing, find out what they're doing. You just never know what type of connections you can make by getting out and networking. The client consultation. This is so key. Whether you're trying to get someone in new or you are pre-booking or rebooking a guest. And, I think that offering a complimentary consultation is a great way to get new clients. It should be no longer than 30 minutes. And what you would like to do is find out why they came in, find out what their desired outcome is, and then tell them how you can help them. And again, it's a great way for you to get new clients and to rebook. Once you find out why they came in, you find out what their desired outcome is, and then you are able to tell them how you can help them. And I'm going to give you an example of how you can do that. So if I come into you and I tell you that I'm here today because I'm having a tough time with the humidity with my hair, I'm having a tough time controlling it, I just don't know what to do. So what I do is I reemphasize what they said. So I say, because you said that you are having problems with humidity in your hair, or if it could be dryness or what have you, then this is what I'm going to utilize and recommend that you do. And you schedule the appointment at that time if you have an opening, or you can go ahead and schedule them for a future date if you don't have an opening at that time. And you would be surprised at how that works, because you're able to find out what it is that they need, show them that you understand it, what it is that they're coming in for, and then educate them on what it is that you're able to offer. Again, consultations, all appointments should start out with a consultation, and I know that in our industry sometimes we've gotten away from that, but this is a great tool to build a rapport with your guests or your client, and it's an excellent way for you to get them to pre-book or rebook, and also, again, a great way to collect marketing data. Welcome and thank you. There are different organizations that you can utilize to help you in the welcome welcoming department as far as new residents coming into the area. I had a very good friend that I worked with who was a real estate agent in the area, so I was able to use her as a tool and resource or leverage some of her information and knowledge to send out welcome letters to the communities that she was based out of or she covered. Also, there's Our Town America, which is a company that will help you and assist you sending out information to new residents in whatever particular area that you live in, and you would utilize your welcome letter to, again, introduce yourself and tell about yourself and your services. And as far as the thank you cards are concerned, I think that, we've really kind of gotten away from really just a human touch sometimes of, saying thank you and the whole customer service piece. So I would really encourage you to send a handwritten thank you note to all of your guests within 3 days after your first visit. And if your client base is such where you're not able to at least do the handwritten note, at least for a personal touch, make sure the client's name and address is handwritten on the envelope or on the postcard. And postcards are acceptable, just so that you're aware, and they are a little bit more cost efficient as opposed to mailing out a letter. Open houses. Open houses are a great way to, again, introduce your services, get new people in, also to schedule appointments while your prospective guests are coming in, or even your existing guests. You want to invite new prospects, but you also want to invite your existing clients to come in and to bring a friend. You can also do this as a customer appreciation event. And one of the great ways that I would utilize my internal marketing is I would have a contest for my guest or my client who brought the most friends in, and I would, reward them for that, and I would give them a prize. You can also have an open house in a different way where you have like a girls' night out, or you can host a makeup class or a makeup exchange. So there are different ways that you can host open houses to introduce, again, who you are, what it is that you do, the services you provide, and your expertise. But again, use this as an option not to just showcase what it is that you do, but also to schedule appointments. The focus should also be to schedule appointments. Offer a gift with purchase. This is something that I really think that we sometimes don't take advantage of as well, because we have distributors that come into our businesses all the time that we purchase our retail product from and our back bar product from, and they're able to actually give us samples or just different things at a discounted rate that we are able to pass on as a gift to our guests. So leverage some of that resource that you have available with your distributors and give your guests for the first time that they come in a complimentary gift. And this adds value to the service. So instead of discounting, and I encourage you to stay away from the word discounting, but this is a way that you can actually provide a complimentary gift to your guests for the first time that they come in, or you can offer complimentary gifts for referrals after so many services and so on. So again, offer a gift with purchases is not a bad thing. You can give small combo packs with combs or hair samples or hair wraps, and again, you can order supplies such as combs or product from your professional wholesale distributors at a drastically reduced cost. Referral programs are excellent, 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 and it's a great way for you to, again, have a form of internal marketing. What better way to advertise your business by, your existing client base? They will basically rave about their service with you, and also they're your walk-in billboard. So, make sure that you are utilizing this already internal tool that you have inside the salon. They can have actually, again, like I said, the bring a guest promo. You can also have an offer where you're able to, if they refer so many guests, they get a value of a discounted value, and I don't want to say discounted, but they get credit towards their next service. That's the best way to say it. And there's many ways that you can customize a referral program. Some have the punch cards. I prefer to have like the credit that they get towards their service if they refer so many people. You can also utilize your business cards that we talked about before as a referral card on the back as well. And they can turn it in with the person's name who referred them to you as a service provider or a salon. Create a monthly newsletter. I love this actual tool that I utilize in my personal salons. And you can create a digital copy and have hard copies in the salon as well. And what I would do is I would feature before and after photos of my clients. Again, I would make sure that I had a signed media release form from my client prior. I would celebrate birthdays for my clients and my guests. And when you are celebrating birthdays, use only the month and the date only, not the year. I would list tips and trend updates in the newsletter. And, you know, you can even be more creative and start your own in-house magazine with photos and tips and featuring your promotions. And just to give you an example of some of the content that you can add to your newsletter, for instance, one month I utilized hair integration as my feature focus. And because my niche and specialty was for women who experienced hair loss or thinning hair, I had a young lady who allowed me to use her photo for before and after. And basically I explained the process of what hair integration was, the benefits, and the care and maintenance of it. And again, you know, I was able to have a lot of guests come in, and new and existing guests experience this service as a result of the newsletter. Pre-booking, and you know, they call it rebooking. This is the very nature and life of your business. Client retention will be the life of your business, so you always have to assume the next appointment. So one rule that I always utilize is that my guests never get out of my chair before scheduling their next appointment. You can provide a concierge service by pre-booking for your guests while they're in your chair, and they love it. Have a calendar on your mirror, or have a calendar readily available at your station so that prior to your guest leaving or your client leaving, they're able to schedule their next appointment. You can also offer all of your chemical service-based clients, whether it be color or, you know, relaxers or what have you. You can offer them a bi-weekly service where they are able to come in for their conditioning treatments on a regular basis in between their major services. Offer stand-in appointments. That is something that I really honed in, because if you have guests that you know are going to come in every 4 weeks or every 6 weeks, I would go ahead and pre-book them out, and they knew when they came in that they were coming in and sitting right in my chair. And you can also offer VIP packages that include appointment preference. So I offer VIP packages which included, say for instance, if I had a color client, she came in for her color, it also included 2 maintenance services in between to conserve her color, and then she would just replenish her package when it was time for her to come back in for her new reservice. So it's a great way to pre-book, but you should always pre-book before the guest leaves. We should not let them leave and then hope and wish that they're going to come back, and explain to them why. We educate them on why it's important for them to come back, on how the difference will be for them in their experience with their hair, and the results that they will see when they come in on a regular basis, as opposed to them feeling like they just have to, you know, have their color look this way for a certain period of time and then just stick it out until their next visit. So it's really, really important to make sure that we offer the opportunity to pre-book and rebook and explain the benefit of why. Okay, so we've gone through the steps and the methods that I gave you today, so I'm just going to give you a brief recap of what it is that we talked about. The first one is look the part. Secondly is make a commitment to hand out 25 business cards per week. Get free publicity. Embrace the community. Get out there and let your community know who you are and get involved. Spread the word. Make sure you have a cyber presence and you're on the social media formats. You want to create an email list and begin your email marketing. Lights, camera, and action, which is creating videos and posting them on YouTube and embedding them in your website. Network, 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 which is getting involved in your local chamber of commerce, joining different public trade associations. The client consultation, make sure you offer that as a feature to get new guests in, but that should also be something that you implement with every single guest every single time. Welcome and thank you. welcoming new potential guests into the community, and also sending out thank yous to anyone who comes to see you. So because remember, if they're not seeing you, they're seeing someone else, and they have a choice to see others, so we want to make sure that they come back. Open houses, make sure you showcase your services and you utilize those open houses to schedule appointments. The gift with purchase feature is a way to add value, and also remember to leverage your resources with the distributors that you work with. The referral program we talked about is internal marketing. Have your guests help you market your business by sending you referrals, and create a newsletter, which is, again, a fabulous way for you to share your wealth of knowledge, feature your guests, and make them feel special, along with educating your guests. And I just want to say thank you for your time today. It's been my pleasure to participate in the summer series, and I am ready to answer any question that anyone may have.
That was great, Denise. Thank you so much. We don't have any questions as of yet, but we've got plenty of time. So if you have any questions about any of this content or just general questions for Denise, please feel free to use this time while we've got her on the line. That's what she's here for. This is a great overview, Denise. My background is actually in marketing and business development, and these are really the essentials that you covered, and you're right, they are in some cases free, and if they're not free, they are low cost. But you know, I often see that the use of business cards is not utilized. People kind of dismiss those because they think they're a little antiquated, but they really aren't. And I have business cards that I got from Moo, is a website, and it's just like Moo, like a cow moos, moo.com. And they're like a thicker cardstock, and they have rounded corners. And on the back, I have 5 different images. So if I meet you, I'll give you one card. The next person I meet, they get a different card. And so on the back are different images. And I can't tell you how often people stop and they pay attention to that, and they comment on that, and they say, where did you get your business card? This is so cool. This is fun. So they've got some really cool stuff on Moo that you can use that kind of stops people in their tracks and just makes you stand out a little bit. So
right. I mean, there's so many different features, like you're saying, and so many different creative ways that business cards are being utilized and actually created. So you're right. That's right.
Absolutely. You were talking a little bit about the free publicity. So how to draft a press release. What would you put in a press release?
Well, you want to talk about, of course, you know, the business. You want to talk about your services that you offer. If there's any specialty services that you offer, you want to make sure you include that. Your hours of operation, of course. And again, you know, just any kind of specialty information that you want to make sure that they are aware of. In my case, I made sure that I did focus on my niche market or my niche client, but I also was able to include the other services that I offered as well. So you want to make sure that they know the full capacity of the services that you offer, your hours of operations, and also who you are and a little bit about your background as well.
That's a great idea. We're actually we're working on creating marketing toolkits that our members will be able to access, and that's something I think we need to add is maybe some verbiage to get them started, and some basic information about that. So that was great. All right, we have a question from Jennifer. She works in a small town and pre-booking is not what her clients like to do. Is offering a weekly conditioning treatment with a color or highlight something that she needs to do to get them back in?
Yes, and she needs to explain why it's important for her to come back in for her weekly conditioning treatments, especially when it comes to a chemical service. And I think sometimes that we, you know, may have a guest who they don't really understand the importance of that, but once you explain it to them, then they get it. They get it. And once they see the results over a period of time, and it doesn't take a long time, but once they see the results, especially after the consistent visits, then they're sold. they'll continue to do it, and they'll expect to make their appointments before they leave.
That's great. You have to train your clients and get them in the habit.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? There are a lot of you on here that aren't asking questions, so feel free to send them through. And one of the other things you talked about, Denise, that kind of stood out to me was the welcome and thank you content. So partnering with like a real estate agent and just doing some of that cross promotion. We really promote that. We actually have an association for massage therapists and one for skincare professionals. So between our 3 associations, we actually have 94,000 members throughout the U.S. And we always advocate that our massage members work with our hair members and with our skincare members, because the services are complementary, but they're not competing. And everybody's pulling from the same pool of people. So we're always trying to help our members make that connection, because that can just really help them.
Exactly. And especially if they're in the same location. You know, that's something that, you know, we've shared and practice as well, and I've taught others. If I'm an esthetician within the same day spa as a massage therapist or nail tech, if I see that my colleague has an opening, you know, when I take my guests back, I can say, you know, I see that, you know, so-and-so has a massage available right after your appointment here. Would you like to take advantage of that? Or there's a nail appointment available right after. Would you like to take advantage of that? And that's another great way to cross-market, even internally, in the moment.
That's very, very true. As far as the referral program goes, is there a certain number, like do you want to say after 10 haircuts you get 1 haircut free? Is there a certain amount of services that you recommend as a reward?
Typically, it's around 5, if it's depending on the price point of the service. So for a haircut or color, about 5. There's also programs available that, for instance, there's one out there that's very, very hugely successful. Is, say, for instance, if I refer you as a guest, and I'm a regular guest, I actually am able to receive, say, for instance, $20 off product, and then you come in and you're able to receive $20 off your first service. And that's a great way to, you know, sell the product, but also get you to come in for the service. But typically, you know, going back to your original question, it's typically 5 for a major service, and that's a major service would be a service that is at least 1 hour in length of time.
Okay, that's a great guideline. All right, well, that is all I have on my end as far as questions go. So last call for questions. Like I said, we've got Denise on the line for about 12 more minutes, so we've got the time if you have questions. So feel free to send those through. We'll give you just a minute or two. All right. Well, while we wait for the last questions to come through, if you wouldn't mind going to the last slide, Denise. Oh, that was the last slide. Okay. So I was just going to go over briefly a little bit about Associated Hair Professionals, since we are the ones sponsoring this event today. Like I said, there are a lot of tools that Denise actually talked about that we offer as part of our membership. We are really well known for offering liability insurance for individual professionals, and that basically protects you from client lawsuits. And we have seen a rise in those in the last few years toward hairstylists. We've actually seen an increase in the settlement amounts as well. So we've seen a few in the last year that have resulted in over $2 million settlements. So if you don't have liability insurance, you really should look into that. It's very affordable and it just protects the money that you make. I'm a big advocate for protecting what you spend your time making. So feel free to look us up. We offer a policy included in our membership. But in addition to that, we offer resources like these webinars. We also have a database of marketing articles. So if you want to learn how to utilize social media a little bit better, we have articles and toolkits that you can use to do that. We also give you a free website. So Denise talked about building your online presence. We actually just designed 9 new website templates that are beautiful. They're amazing. And we do all of the hosting for you and everything. So all you have to do is hop on, pick the template that you want, customize your URL, and then you can go in, you can upload your pictures of your clients, you can link it to your social media profiles, and you can upload videos. It's a really great website tool. Unlimited pages. We'll never put ads on your page. So it's really great if you want to build a web presence but you're not quite sure where to start. We also can help you with the SEO so that when somebody is looking for you online, they'll find your website and they can contact you. So we've got some great resources. We also have a discount program. So if you want to offer online booking on your website, we actually partner with someone that gives you a discounted subscription. If you want to sell gift certificates on your website, we also get you a discount on that subscription. We also have a discount, 30% off any shears through shark fin shears. If you have cell phone service through T-Mobile, we can save you 15% on your monthly cell phone bill. So we've got a lot of different resources, and they're all geared toward helping you make more money and be more successful and have a more fruitful career. So if you haven't checked us out, I would encourage you to. Our membership dues annually are $179, and that includes the liability policy and all of the different benefits I mentioned. That is super affordable. If you do some homework, you'll see you'll spend twice as much as that on just a liability policy in most cases. So I would encourage you to look us up. We're Associated Hair Professionals, and our phone number is 1-800-575-4642. And our website is insuringstyle.com, and that's INSURINGSTYLE.com. So thank you so much for joining us for today's webinar. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Denise, for all of the really good information. If you have any questions for Denise after this, feel free to send them through to the info@insuringstyle.com, and I'll make sure that Denise gets to those and can respond. But otherwise, thank you so much for attending, and have a wonderful day. Thanks, Denise.
Thank you.